So this day started off like any other. I went onto Pinterest, I looked for some pictures of real people, and I saw a pose I really liked, and I wanted to draw one of my characters, Jaylin. I haven't drawn her in a while. Feels like a while. And saw the pose and I really liked it, and I just immediately thought Jaylin leaning against a window with a planet in the background casting light on her. So I drew it. And here's the drawing. I wanted to work a bit more on my lighting, I wanted to work on my shading, and I want to really add in more backgrounds into my artwork. I am primarily an artist who focuses on characters and people. So human heads, character designs and stuff. I don't really add in a lot of backgrounds, and my art has been suffering because of this. Backgrounds really elevate the art. It adds so much context to the story that you're trying to tell, and the background affects character because they're in that scene. So I wanted to practice this, and this felt like a very approachable background because it's just a window, a starry night sky, and I downloaded an image from the Clip Studio asset store for the planet, so I didn't even have to draw that myself. I just put it in the background, add some glowing effects, some stars, and yeah, I like how the image came out. So you can see me doing the initial sketch for the pose, and it was a lot easier than I had expected. I don't usually do a lot of poses where somebody is leaning against something, but I think it looks like she is, and I tried to draw straight lines using the Shift key. I don't like using Shift for straight lines in Clip Studio. It just never works out properly. I usually just end up freehanding the lines, but since this was a spaceship, I had to get crisp, straight lines. So I just struggled with the Shift key to get good line art, and I did it. I think it looks fine. I didn't want to experiment too much with this piece because I knew the lighting and the shadows was going to give me trouble, and well, spoiler alert, it gave me a lot of trouble. I'm really working on my rendering, and rendering the shadows is hard. But I did download another brush. You know how it is when you go on the Clip Studio asset store, it's just so many new things to try out. This is not a brush I would normally use. I normally use a smoother brush, but I wanted to try a more textured brush, because even the textured brushes I used was smoother than this one. It came out looking okay, but I don't think I'm going to use this brush again. I just don't really like how it looks. Even though I like the piece at the end, I don't like how the brush itself acted. And I did download another brush that I like much more, so I'm going to use that instead. The character Jaylin, well, she's a part of a story that I'm working on. It's called the Gother Experiment. It's supposed to be like 8 episodes, and each episode is about 10,000 words. And you can hear me talk more about the plot and the other characters involved in that story in the video that I will link in the iCard. I did a whole video, well, 2 videos actually, going over the story and the main characters in the story and some of the side characters. So you could hear more about them there, but this is one of the main characters, and she actually tells a lot of the story. It's from her perspective. She is, the nice one, the youngest one, the cuter one. I just like her. She is very cute. And I don't draw her often enough. I mainly draw Gracie from another story that I have. You can see all the drawings that I've been doing lately on my channel. I really like how they've been coming out. I'm very proud of how my digital art has been progressing, even though, like I keep saying, it's been a bit of a struggle. I'm primarily a traditional artist, not a digital artist, but I'm definitely getting a hang of the tools, and I'm enjoying myself a lot more lately. I especially love the lasso fill tool. That is the main reason why I have basically stopped using Procreate. I know there's a similar tool in Procreate, but it's not connected to my keyboard. My keyboard shortcuts are so fast that I've pretty much stopped using Procreate for Clip Studio Paint, because that's what I have on my computer now. I still really like Medibang, but I've finally gotten the hang of Clip Studio, so I don't think I'm going back to Medibang for now, except when I do some of my studies, like when I do the 1 hour figure drawing studies that I sometimes do. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute figure gesture sketches for an hour. I did that. I don't like going for the full hour. I usually do between 15 to 30 minutes, but I did like a full hour and I recorded it, so I'm probably gonna show that off because that was hard in another video. But yeah, to just see me doing the background, it didn't take me that long. That's one of the reasons why I picked this background, though I did struggle a bit to get the effect of having a glass. That was kind of hard to get, and I don't even think I got it right, but it looks okay. I'll just have to try again another time. Then came the shading, and oh boy, the shading gave me trouble. I think I deleted all the shading 2 or 3 times. Just because I kept starting over, I did not like how it looked. I then downloaded a brush pack, because I decided to take a break and I went on the Clip Studio Asset Store, as you do. And I downloaded a brush pack that came with a blend brush and a blur brush. It was the Peachy brush set, the 3.0, is it the 2.0? I can't remember. I really like the blend and the blur tools. I was looking for a blur pen that I really liked, and I really like that one. So that did help me a lot when I finally got a hang of how I wanted the shading to look. It didn't really come out exactly the way I wanted it, but it definitely came out better than all the other attempts I made. Because I like having hard edges and short edges. Hard edges and soft edges. Man, words are hard today. But using the lasso tool like other people use, I wasn't getting the exact effect that I want. And I think I have a method now where I'm getting better, where I use the lasso tool and I also use the blend and the blur tool. So I'm going to try it out on a few other drawings and see if this is going to be a part of my new process for doing digital art. But it was the best thing that finally got me into a result that I kinda liked. I still think I could have done better with the shading on the face, but I wasn't sure how to fix it. So I ended up just leaving it. I did end up making another layer where I added a warmer shadow to give her face a bit more life. And I think it helped because when there's shadow, there's sometimes like an orange glow in the skin because of light and blood vessels and all of that. So I wanted to show that a little, even though the light coming from outside was blue. I also wanted to add in some rim light because I really love how rim lighting looks. And even that was hard. Like I keep saying, digital art is hard. I'm having fun, but it's also frustrating at times. I even added in lips because normally I don't draw lips. If you look at all my art from before, my sketchbook tours and stuff, I recently uploaded a sketchbook tour, by the way. But you notice that unless I'm doing like a realism drawing, I don't add in lips because I just don't like how it looks in my art style. I think she really needed the lips because of the kind of shading that I was doing. If I was doing simple cell shading, then I wouldn't have needed to add the details with the lips and like the pupils in her eyes and the air holes, because I don't always draw air holes. But the drawing was bigger and it was a bit more rendered, so I had to add them in. I had to add in a lot of stuff that I would normally add in. And it was nice doing that experiment because I am not somebody who likes leaving the comfort zone if I'm not having fun. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, then I got to working on the window and rendering the metal parts. And that was hard. I've never rendered metal properly in in digital or traditional art. I just don't draw a lot of stuff made out of metal. I draw wildlife, humans, flowers, you know, natural stuff, organic stuff. So I had like 5 images of metals. Some of them, you know, rendered like digital paintings, and some like actual just pictures of metal. And I used those to help me get a better idea of how to render the window sill. It's not really a windowsill, what do you call it? It's on a spaceship. I'm not sure, but I did have a lot of reference images open, and I think it came out looking okay. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to look, but it looks okay. Like I said, I am happy with how the overall image turned out in the end, especially once I added in the extra shine on the metal. That was when it really started to look more metallic, but it was a bit difficult. But, you know, art is hard. It's easy, but it's also hard. And I think only artists really get that. It's like, you know, when you play a game and there are parts of the game that's frustrating, but you know you just have to get through it because you enjoy the game itself. You like the overall experience is fun. This is just temporary frustration until you figure out how to do it, and then the rest of the game is so much better once you learn the tricks. That's how art is to me. It is hard, but it's also fun. And then like once you get that click, it works. It's like finding the perfect brush, like the blur brush that I said, or finding like the perfect color scheme, or the perfect canvas size. It's like once things start to click, it just feels so good. And things are clicking. Not completely. Rendering the hair was hard. I have so much trouble rendering hair, just in general. Even in traditional art, rendering hair is something that always gives me trouble. And I would look at tutorials and images and pictures of people, and then when it comes to doing my own stuff, rendering the hair gives me so much trouble. That's something I am currently working on trying to figure out, because it's definitely holding back my art from looking more professional. So yeah, I think that's it that I have to say about this piece. If you liked it, then tell me you liked it. If you don't like it, you can tell me that too. Just leave a comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more. If you're not sure yet, you can definitely check out one of the other videos that I mentioned, like my sketchbook tour, or the videos where I talk more about these characters. You know, see if this is something you're interested in experiencing a little more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Later.